Hello, and welcome to this brief video tour on the different gradebook syncing options with VHL Central and your LMS. Today we'll be using Canvas as the example, but the syncing options will be the same for any of the LMS or learning management systems. So I'm going to go ahead and come on into my dashboard. I'm on my dashboard within the Canvas environment. I'm going to come over to grade and then I'm going to hit gradebook. And you'll notice over here under my gradebook, I have an option called LMS Sync. LMS Sync will not be here until you sync your VHL section with your LMS course shell. So I will click LMS Sync. And we're going to click on Edit Settings, and then I'm going to go to Enable. So now we will have different options for syncing. The first option is the aggregated grade option. Aggregated grades means that you will get an average of grades by different options, right? So you could have all the VHL work, anything that students complete, average itself into one column in your gradebook, and that will continuously update as due dates pass. You can do the same with lessons. So if you taught 5 lessons in a term, you would have 5 different columns in your gradebook, and those will update as due dates pass. Same with week, and same with category. So here I'm going to show you a quick category example. You'll notice that on my VHL gradebook, I happen to have 4 categories. I also have these same 4 categories in my Canvas gradebook. Doesn't necessarily mean that I have to assign things from VHL for every category, but I will have grades being passed back for each category. So if I don't assign anything in a category, no grades are going to pass back. Let me show you what that looks like. So I'll come back to LMS Sync. I'll click on Edit Settings, and here I will enable each category. I'll click Save. And now that's been set up and it is syncing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the assignments area in Canvas. And these are starting to populate. There we have all 4 categories. Notice that it has a capital VHL in front of it. That lets me know that that has synced from VHL. Notice that it put all of the categories into my first group here. This is a default setting for Canvas. So the very first time it syncs, I'll need to drag these into the appropriate categories, and I'll do this once and it will be set therefore going forward, and all the grades will sync to the correct categories. Okay, so there's an option. Now let's go back to the syncing. Now here I am currently set to sync by category. I'm going to edit this, and what I'm going to do is come down to this area. Individual grades for selected categories, 1 or more required. So if I want to sync grades for all of these categories, I would select all of them, and that's going to give me a single activity. So a column for every activity that I've assigned in my gradebook. And now I want to bring your attention to a brand new feature called Skip Unsubmitted Work. What this does is essentially anything that a student has not submitted on the VHL Super site, that gets calculated as a dash in the VHL Super site, and when it comes over to the LMS, it's calculated as a 0. If I do not want to bring those zeros into my gradebook, then I would simply click Skip Unsubmitted Work, and it will take away, it will not sync any unsubmitted work. For a moment, I want to just not select that for you, show you what it's going to look like over here when I sync. So I'm going to refresh this. I'm going to come back over to my assignments. And now you can kind of start to see that assignments are starting to sync. And notice I have all of these different activities that I've assigned. It's put them into the first group for me like it does. And then I would move them into the different groups as I wanted to. Okay, so here it's synced all of the assignments for me. So now let's go back over to the gradebook in VHL. I'm going to come in and edit the settings, and now I'm going to click Skip Unsubmitted Work. It's important to note that this will be in effect going forward. It will not be retroactive and go back in and remove zeros for students that have not submitted work in the past and you had it syncing for all assignments to come over. So now I'll come back over to assignments. We'll see that we still have all of these assignments syncing, right? And then when I go into individual student grades, I will be able to see which students have zeros, and then I can go ahead and come over here and apply the gradebook settings appropriately in Canvas. Thank you for watching this brief video tour, and best of luck to you.